Hi, Aries. It's so funny. So I'm sitting here doing personal readings, trying to get caught up in those. And I am like, I knew that I wanted to get your reading done today. And as much as I really wanted to do your reading, I was like, I've got to get these personal readings out. I really have to get these personal readings out. These people have been waiting, you know. But your energy for April is so on fire and so on point. So like ready to jump and do and go. And like, I mean, I feel like if I don't get your reading out, I'm going to start getting all sorts of messages like, where's the reading? Where's the reading? Where's the reading? I just feel that excitement in the air. I feel like you guys are on the edge of something really, really cool, something that you've been waiting for a really long time. And right now, it may be right now that you're feeling very anxious, very nervous. Because I mean, like really, I feel this buildup of anxiety happening to me. And I want you to know that the Ten of Cups coming up as the very first card is saying you don't have anything to worry about. You really don't have anything to worry about. Because you're making your own happiness happen. Because you're the one that is, like, I literally just felt this huge sigh of relief. Four of Swords. The Four of Swords, these two together are really representing cutting ties with what you think is supposed to happen. You see how, like in most tarot decks, you're going to look at this card, the Four of Swords, and the guy is resting, and he's a little guarded, but he's like in meditation. He's healing. You know, maybe he's been through surgery or something like that. This guy is in the snow. He doesn't have shoes on. He's not really dressed for the snow. He's kind of surrounded by predators, and there are these swords surrounding him with ties on them. And what I really want to say is while you're in this position of being very guarded and anxious about what is to happen in your future, or whatever it feels like is supposed to be coming up, I want you to cut ties with the ideas of what you think is supposed to happen. Because I don't think that you see truly what is going to happen. The Ten of Cups to me is really saying, Aries, you have a lot of abundance coming. And through the first half of April, leading up from the Libra full moon at the end of March, which is this weekend, leading to your new moon, you will have opportunities to take risks and to open yourself up to what it is that you've been wanting to do for some time. And if you're, like, seriously, some of you are probably looking at me right now going, I don't feel very lucky. I don't feel like taking any risks. I just feel this like, I'm so overwhelmed and I'm so anxious right now. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. And I want to tell you that the moment that it happens, Ace of Swords, it will be very clear. We just had like a ton of cards come out, so let's look at them really quick. The Empress, there you are. Very regal, very standing in your own energy, very empowering. The Page of Cups, so there could be a water sign that's not coming up very highly. The Four of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. So right here, I feel like you're saying, I'm not going to beg for affection anymore. I'm going to retreat. I'm going to be in my own power and stand in my own power. And I'm not going to let anybody else get in my way. The Page of Wands to me is an active listening card. And because it's the Page of Wands, I feel like you need to listen to yourself a little bit more. Listen to your intuition, to your higher self, of what it's saying to you, you know, possibly during meditation time. We have two cards here that's really all about meditation, contemplation. One's a little bit more comfortable than the other. One's a little bit more emotional than the other. And then we have this air sign. The Queen of Swords. Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. If you've had to retreat from an air sign or from somebody who is really kind of just standing there, I feel like somebody's either standing up to you or standing their ground against you, or saying, like, I'm not going to... I feel like there's a face-off is kind of where I'm getting between you and an air sign. The Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords to me is really saying that in your thoughts, if somebody's making you feel a little bit put out, or you feel like you need to put somebody out, in your thoughts, you're thinking, it's going to be totally devastating if I do this. If I have to stand in my own power, because I'm done. It's like I'm cutting through the bullshit. Ace of Swords, totally cutting through the bullshit. I'm going to stand in my power. I am not begging for affection or for any kind of attention anymore. I've retreated, listening to myself. Could be against an air sign or any other sign. It doesn't have to be an air sign. Or you're just kind of standing your ground. There's a part of you that's really thinking, if I let this go, it's going to be totally devastating. The Ten of Swords is really only in your thoughts, though, and it's the end of a cycle. And you guys have so much to do right now with Taurus season coming up. We have the Hierophant. We have the Four of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Pentacles here. You have so much to work with. I feel like if you keep holding on to something that is not of your best interest, I do have an earth sign here. So if you're choosing between an air sign and an earth sign, and don't get caught up in the gender, queens, kings, this is a general reading. I really feel like if you're holding on to things a little too tightly, you don't have to do this. Like, there's really no need for you to hang on so tightly, because as we go into Taurus season and Uranus moves from your sign into Taurus, it's going to be a very uncomfortable shift for the fixed signs. For cardinal signs and for mutable signs, you especially will take it very easily. Because this is going to be one of those things where it's like movement forward. Like, yes, now I finally get to see the fruits of the labor. Like, all of this stuff that I've been working on. And if you feel like you haven't even been or you haven't had the chance to work on things, stuff keeps getting in your way. Taurus season is going to be that time of balancing things out, justice and temperance. This is also Libra and Sagittarius. But remember that you don't have to hold on to things just because it feels like, or you think that it's going to be totally devastating if you let go and you have to put somebody out. You can give up that control a little bit. I know Aries is like, really? Give up that control? I don't want to give up that control. Not really feeling giving up the control, right? Except once you do and things start to balance out a little bit, I feel like there's a very big opportunity for you to release some negative energy in your life. And if it means having to let go of some of the things or a person or an idea of the way you think things are supposed to be, if it means you having to let go a little bit and just letting the universe take over. I mean, from the beginning of this reading up until now, I have relaxed like 100 times over. And so I know that that very anxious energy that I had going at the beginning of the reading, it was like, oh my God, I have to get this done. I have to get this done. I have to get this done. Or I need to know the answers. I need to know what's going on. I need to know who's going to be in my life. I need to know who I need to let go of. I need to know that it's all going to be okay in the end. And I'm here to tell you, you standing in your power during Aries season right now, with the new moon coming and taking that risk, all about the new moon in Aries is all about taking a risk on something that you weren't quite sure of. You wanted to. It's Mercury retrograde. You don't want to start anything during Mercury retrograde. Everybody tells you that, right? So you sat on it and you sat on it and you sat on it and you're waiting. And in your thoughts this whole time, the thing is when we sit here and we wonder and wonder and wonder, like the 10 of Swords, and our vibration becomes so low that it's like, of course we're going to think that everything's just going to fall apart and it's going to be totally devastating. Of course that's how it's going to happen, right? It's just going to happen that way. Because the energy that you have right now is that you just want it to happen. You just want it to move forward already. You want to get the answer. And I want to tell you that it's going to be very clear to you on what you're supposed to be doing to get this abundance, to get this happiness, the direction that you are supposed to go. And I really want you to, as you contemplate, as you meditate, as you sit with your higher self, and really instead of being in your ego, sit in that gut feeling. To me, this is like, okay, we can meditate one of two ways. We can meditate up in our head, or we can meditate deep down into our solar plexus, where we get all of our oomph from. Oomph, right? You want to get that Aries oomph. There will be a need for patience. You know, if you don't want to beg for a project, beg for a promotion, beg for money, beg for affection from your spouse, if you don't want to do any of that, if you feel like you've been put out and these ideas, these thoughts keep going around and round and round in your head, let that go. Let it go, Aries. You can let go of control. Because all of it's coming to you. I do feel like some people are working with the government or the institution. Something is making me, with the King of Swords and Justice here, this is really like kind of a legal situation that's going on. Either a divorce. You could be dealing with two air signs, but often when I see the King of Swords right after the Justice card, I feel like somebody is either working with the government in some way, some kind of, you know, paperwork, legal documents, something like that. And if there is a worry or a fear of that happening, of something happening with that, things will become very clear. You know, the Ace of Swords to me is that conversation, that action-oriented conversation that's going to happen that will make things clear for you in April. Also have the Two of Cups and the 10 of Wands. So we have 3 10s here. If you've kind of been burdened by a relationship, I feel like that relationship is going to have a dramatic change in April as well. And it could be with an air sign. Could be, we have Taurus, we have Libra. We have, you know, Taurus again with the Empress here. Sagittarius. But I'm feeling more like earth or air. I feel like that burden will be over. There's too much for you to do to stay up in your head. Excuse me, when the energy builds up. I'm sure you've heard that before by other readers. When you're channeling and the energy starts to build up, it has to come out somehow. Really remember the position that you're in right now to manifest things, to make really great strides in your life, and to not have to worry about the he said, she said bullshit. I feel like there's a lot of like thinking up in your head, like, I don't know what to do with this person. I don't know what to do with this person. It's all going to be devastating. Like, no matter what happens, if I have that conversation, if I have to put somebody out, if they're, you know, just kind of, if that's an issue, that's really something I feel like that can be let go of. Let it happen in a stable way, Aries. The Knight of Pentacles. Let it happen in a stable way. I'm really glad that I was able to get your reading done, because I feel like you have a lot of players in your life right now that are confusing you. And I want to let you know that there are some people, I feel like there are some people that you can count on. And if these are people from your past or people from your present, talk to them, open up and listen and talk. And make sure that you are actively striving for what is going to make this 10 of Cups come to fruition for you. And don't listen to the naysayers, and don't listen to your, like, get out of this low vibration of the 10 of Swords, because you don't need this. You for sure do not need this. Yeah. I hope you guys have a really wonderful birthday beginning first half of April. Thank you for your patience while I was getting well. I am still trying to get my voice back. If you are waiting for a personal reading from me, they are coming out. I am getting caught up on them. I think I'm still like a day behind with everybody. So thank you for your patience with all of that. I know sometimes it's really hard to be patient when you just like really want to get the information. So thank you. If you would like to have a personal reading, check out the InstantGo app. That link is below. Also my website, fearlessintuition.net. And announcement, I will be opening up ticket sales for an event in Indianapolis the weekend of the 20th. There will be a workshop Friday night and then personal readings throughout the weekend. And then in Chicago the following weekend, there will be a workshop Friday night and then personal readings throughout the weekend. So I will open up those ticket sales probably by the end of this week. I'll make a big announcement for it. Just to let everybody know that the next 2 events will be in Indianapolis and Chicago at the end of April, the last 2 weekends in April. So I love you guys. Have a really great first half of April, and I will see you for the second half. Bye.